Welcome to start second part of class 8th history chapter number 7, and that is weaver, iron smelter and factory owners. Under this second part, our first heading is Indian textile European market, Indian cloth in European markets. In the previous part we have seen that due to many of the qualities and fine clothes, Indian textile fabrics cloth were very much in demand in Europe, America, Africa and many places. And after that we will see this, that by the early 18th century, worried by the popularity of Indian textile, Indian textile, cloth, wool, silk were much in demand in Europe. So in 18th century, the people of England started to protest. Why not to import of Indian textile? They protested and they requested to government that government will not import the cotton textile from India. In 1720, the British government passed a legislation, a law. That law banned the use of printed cotton cloth, chintz in England, and this was produced in India. Means Indian cloth was banned in England. And what was its name? Is interestingly, the name of this law was Calico Act. Calico Act. At this time, textile industry had just begun to develop in England, and this was the time when in England textile industries was started, and it was unable to It was unable to give competition to the Indian textile, which was very famous in England due to the quality. English producer wanted a secure market within the country by preventing the entry of Indian textile. And the England producer of the cloth, they want secure market. They want good market so that their material, their cloth can be sold in the market. But it was not possible when Indian cloths are available in the same market. So who will purchase their cloth? Even no one knows about that. No one knows quality of that product, and it was new as well, because everyone was habitual to use the Indian cloth and they liked it also. So they wanted free market from Indian cloth. The first to grow under government protection was Calico printing industry, Indian design, and the first to grow under government protection. So what government has given support, how that government protection was the Calico printing industry, that they set one industry, and Indian design now copied and printed in England. And in England one industry was started, that side they started to copy the designing of Indian cloth. And the cloth, for this they use white muslin or plain unbleached cotton cloth, Indian cloth. They purchase cloth, raw material from India to print and to copy the Indian cotton cloth. Competition with the Indian textile also led to search for technology innovation in England. And British have to give competition to the Indian cotton cloth. So they were in search for different type of innovation or invention. In 1764, spinning jenny, it was invented by John Kay. And after that, invention of steam engine by Richard Arkwright in 1786. So invention of this spinning jenny and invention of steam engine, these both helped to British to weave much quantity and cheaply cloth, and if the cloth will be woven cheaply, so it can give competition to the Indian cloth as well. However, Indian textile continued to dominate world trade till the end of the 18th century, and after this all, Indian cloth and Indian cotton cloths were dominating, very famous and popular up to the 18th century, up to the end of 18th century. European trading company, Dutch, French and English made enormous profit, made huge profit out of this flourishing trade, means due to this Indian cloth. These companies purchased cotton and silk textile in India. They used to purchase these all the thing from India by importing silver, and they were bringing silver. They used to bring silver from their own country. But East India Company, when they gained power in Bengal by getting Diwani power, as you have seen in the previous chapter in first book, so they stopped to bring the gold and silver from the England, and directly they started to collect, they started to purchase Indian goods and spices from the revenue which was collected by from the Bengal. And during this time, some of the center were weaving center, important weaving center were Calcutta, Patna, Banaras, Lahore, Burhanpur, Surat, Ahmedabad, Madras, Puducherry and many more. Who were weavers? Weavers often belong to community. They are from one community that is specialized in weaving. They are skillful in weaving. Their skill were passes from one generation to next generation by giving training. The Tanti weavers of Bengal, Tanti weavers were from Bengal. In Julaha are Momin Ansar, weavers of North India. In Saleh in Kaikolar and Dewang of South India are some of the communities famous for the weaving. So you can give the question, you can give answer in the comment that which are famous community of weavers. The first stage of production was spinning. So what was the stage for the production cloth? So first stage is spinning. They spin the cloth, cotton, they spin the cotton in this way. Suppose small portions are there, so they will spin in this way to make like rope in India. That in India people are making in some villages. Some of the people used to make that from the jute, they make rope. So like this, cotton was turned into thread. So it was called spinning. So it is done by mostly by women. Charkha and takli were household spinning instrument. The thread was spun on the चरखा. पहले इसको चरखा पे लपेटा जाता था, रोल किया जाता था, और रोल किया जाता था तकली पे उसके बाद उसको ले लिया जाता था खींच के और उसको रोल कर दिया जाता था. When the spinning was over, the thread was woven into cloth by the weaver, and after that cloths were woven. In most communities, weaving was a task done by men. In means at some places ladies are also engaged to produce the cloth. For cloth textile, the thread was dyed, and after that if you want to give color, so it was dyed, color were dyed, sometimes cloths were dyed, and the people who dye it, they were called rangres. For printed cloth, weaver needed to help our specialist block printer known as chipigar. Handloom weaving, an occupation associated associated with it provide livelihood for millions of the Indians. And due to this textile industry, many million of the people get the job. So it is very good and prestigious job. The decline of Indian textile, how it decline or damage or destroyed. Development of cotton industries in Britain affected the producer in India in several ways. And when cotton was started to produce in England, so there was problem for the Indian cotton producer in many ways. Number one, Indian textile now had to compete with British textile. So number one, that Indian cotton cloth have to give competition to the cotton cloth produced by British in the European countries, American market, at many places. Second, exporting textile to England also became increasingly difficult. Why? Due to high duties. Because when we want to send our item to the England, so English government has imposed, means for taking huge taxes. That's why it was too tough. By the beginning of the 19th century, English made cotton textiles successfully ousted Indian goods, and up to the 19th century, by the starting of 19th century, the popularity which was firstly for the Indian cloth, now it became for the English cloth. Indian cloth became, you can say, not in demand, out of demand. Indian good from the traditional market in Africa and not from India, it became out of demand from Africa, from India, America and Europe. So the production decreased. Thousands of the weavers in India were now known out of employment. So people became unemployed because so many mills were closed. Bengal weaver was hit. English and European companies stopped buying Indian goods and their agent no longer gave. So no one came to purchase Indian cloth, and not any agent also came to India for this. Advance to weaver, an agent also didn't come to India to provide advance money to the weavers so that the weavers can purchase the material to produce the cloth. Now, disturbed weaver wrote petition to the government to help them. But worse was still to come. This was not worse, now worse will also come after this. By 1830, British cotton cloth flooded Indian market. By 1830, British cotton cloth flooded in Indian market. Very much, huge amount of cloth came. By the 1882, third of all cotton cloth owned by Indian, means firstly, in the starting, Indian cloths were sent to England, it was much in demand. Now problem came, an Indian cotton cloth was stopped to send England. Second problem. Now third problem, that even Indian people started to purchase the cloth which was made in British, which was produced in British. So this was also problem. Suppose if it is not being sent to England, so if the Indian people will use the Indian cloth, so consumption will be there. But in the last, Indian people also left to use Indian cloth and they started to use British cloth. So that's why problem started much. There was much problem for the weavers. This affected not only specialist weaver but also spinners. Thousands of rural women who made a living by spinning cotton thread were rendered jobless, became jobless. Now handloom weaving did not completely die in India, but handloom weaving did not completely die in India. Why? Because in some of the areas, Indian people were making very complicated designing, very complicated and very grand designing, and that was very tough to copy by the British on the cloth. So British did not copy this type of cloth. So this this type of cloth were in demand everywhere, which was made in India. But this was only very limited in very limited area of India. And after that, you can see that textile manufacturing in Britain produced very coarse cloth also, means from very cheap cloth to very high and very good cloth they started to produce for the Indian. So all the Indians were able to get their cloth from the market, even rich person, middle class person and poor person. Everyone were able to purchase, and it was cheap also. So everyone left to use the Indian made cloth. And some of the cloth which were very complicated and good, which was not copied by English company or English industries, that areas were Solapur in Western India and Madura in South India. This town emerged as the important new center of weaving in 19th century. And during the national movement, Mahatma Gandhi urged people to boycott import textile. They told, Mahatma Gandhi requested to the people not to import the British cotton cloth in India. And he also requested to use the Indian made cloth so that it will support the Indian weavers, they will get job and they will not die of hunger. Khadi gradually became a symbol of nationalism, and after this Khadi cloth became symbol of nationalism. The charkha came to present in India, and it was put at the center of the tricolor of our national color. In the center of the national color, national tricolor, National Congress adopted it in 1931. What happened to the weavers and spinner who lost their livelihood if the industries is closed? So what the people will do? So they started to migrate from their home to anywhere else. Like some of them became agricultural labor, some of them migrate to work in the cities, and some of them went outside of India to do the work in plantation in Africa, South America, and many of them started to migrate Ahmedabad, Solapur, Nagpur and Kanpur.